That straight flush ace high, you have a royal flush, and that's the best hand in poker. We rejoin the game on hand 32, four-handed. Mark Vronsky, first to speak.
3 and an 8. Mark is gone. Suited queen 9 on the button.
Well, I think we might see an all-in here again.
Raise to 10,000. That's his standard raise now, it seems, from Peter, but with the ace now, Nikolai. Our Sergeys have both gone. Nikolai having a think. Remember, it's it. You were right. You were right, Mel. He's all in. The short stack. Nikolai Losev decides it's time to make a stand.
I think he was looking at to see if he can get a read on David Rudling, but David hadn't looked at his cards yet, so he had to make a decision.
And now the decision is for Peter Vlasenko, and he folds. He's not going to see the all-in bet with the queen. And so Nikolai Losev will take the pot and give himself a little bit more breathing room. And in fact, he will move ahead of Peter Vlasenko and get himself off the bottom. And Peter drops down to 4th place. He's short stacked now at 86,000. And just confirming that, Peter Vlasenko just under 86,000 in chips. Nikolai Losev second, David Rudling third, Mark Vronsky firmly in the lead. In fact, he's got just about half the chips, just over half the chips on the table in front of him. There you see the button. It is actually in front of Mark. That means David is going to be the first to speak. Nadia nearly showing us the cards. There's David, Jack 8. They're gone. Mark on the button with an ace 5. He likes playing on the button. He'll play any 2 cards if he's on the button. But I mean, if that's the good thing about, you know, it's a good thing about being aggressive on the button. Is then when it comes around and you do have cards, they may think you're on a steal again. This is Mike's poker tip for the day. I'll shut up now, Mel.
It's the power of the chips.
Okay, queen 10. It's a big raise for this table. Not really that big in terms of the total chips that are out there, but.
Oh no.
Not many players willing to contest a raise here. I haven't seen many re-raises in this game at all.
No.
And the 4 players left are still competing for almost all of the $200,000 in prize money available. The winner will get $84,000. The runner-up, $46,000. And let's get back to the game. Whoops! That'll make your Periscope rise. Settle down, boy. It's hand 38.
So here we go. First to speak
It's going to be a long
is going to be Nikolai. 38th hand. There you see the button in front of David and Nikolai.
He just had a 6 of hearts, but didn't see the other card. Oh.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. American Airlines. I think he's just going to call this. He just
David's
called it.
put in the raise to 8. It's been called.
What was David's hand? It was 6, 5
5 and a
hearts.
6.
Oh, okay. All right.
So we'll see the flop. David Rudling just deciding to have a go on the button. Walked into a huge one, which just got a bit huger. David's got an inside straight draw, but Mark's got a set of aces.
I think this is going to go check, check.
Well, there's one check, and David's deciding to represent the ace, which is probably a bad decision at this point.
Well, he's not to know that he's walked into 3 aces. He's trying to represent the ace.
All in. There it comes from Mark Vronsky.
Oh.
So David on a bit of a button steal. Mark Vronsky trap checks him. And look at the expression on David Rudling's face, trying to figure out what's going on.
Well, Mark Vronsky's trying to look weak and nervous and praying to God type thing.
And I don't think there's any way in the world he could have him figured for pocket rockets. But anyway, he has him figured for something, and he folds. And Mark Vronsky wins the pot.
Hi, I'm Jason Farmer. I'm from Houston, Texas, and I'm going to have some dinner in my winter palace. So. My grandmother had bought me a little handheld poker sort of a little handheld poker computer when I was a young child, and I just played that, and it got popular maybe 3 or 4 years ago in the United States, and I started playing online, and I was doing very successful, and now that's my job. So. That's terrible. Poker's great because it's challenging, it's competitive. Anyone can play poker. I mean, really anyone. You can be the oldest person or the youngest person. It doesn't take that much time to master the game, or not to master the game, but... Okay. Not to master the game, but it really does take just a few minutes to learn, but a lifetime to master. And it's just a great game. It's very competitive, and it's fun, and there's a lot of money to be played in it. And as you can see by my palace, there is a lot of money to be made in poker. So.
Хотел бы ты узнать, что сегодня на ужин?
Да.
Сегодня на ужин рыба с грибами.
Playing in the St. Petersburg Open has been great. All of the party poker people have been wonderful. It's just been a great experience. I won my seat in a satellite. This is actually my first live tournament. I really feel playing in a live tournament and playing with real world-class players like Mel Judah, it's really improved my confidence. My friends, they all wondered if it was something that was actually palatable, if something I could actually do. But I think winning this trip and coming to Russia has really shown them that there really could be a future in it, or that there really is something to it. Poker being televised has certainly added to the popularity. It's in the United States at least, and I know that in Europe the popularity has exploded, and I think that's largely due in part to poker being televised. And everybody's playing it now, the young, the old. I know that I've watched other players on television, and that has certainly changed the way that I've thought about my game, and I've tried to adapt certain styles into my own and incorporate other players, the way that they play, into my own style. I think your apprehensiveness in front of playing in front of cameras is certainly increased. It makes you nervous. You know, most people have never been on television. They've never been in front of cameras or lights, and it's an unusual and out of an ordinary experience for most people. So my style would be somewhat conservative, I believe. During the first few stages of the tournament, where your chip stack is very large in relation to the blinds. My main goal in poker is just to avoid work at any cost, although it is quite a bit of work to be successful at poker, just to avoid a 9-to-5 job, really. My goals in life are just to basically be just an honest person, be self-sufficient, and one day to have a family and, children, hopefully.
So you see the button in front of David Rudling, who's third on the chip table. And that means that Nikolai Losev, who's second, is going to be the first to speak. And you see the commanding lead that Mark Vronsky has. Jack 5 for Nikolai is folded. David now looks at his own cards, and he's got a pocket pair of 4s.
I'm all in.
And he's going all in. Mark Vronsky folds immediately, so now over to Peter Vlasenko. And he calls.
Maybe he's got 2 6s, I don't know, we only saw one.
We saw one. Let's see on the turnover.
Around 70,000.